The summer before Harry Potter's fourth year at Hogwarts began with an incredible event, the Quidditch World Cup. This was no ordinary match, it was the pinnacle of Quidditch, drawing fans from every corner of the wizarding world. The anticipation had been building for months, and now the moment had finally arrived. Harry, Ron and Hermione, along with the boisterous Weasley family, travelled to the event. The atmosphere was electric, buzzing with excitement and the hum of magical energy. They had never seen anything like it before. The sheer scale of the event was overwhelming, with thousands of witches and wizards converging in one place. Witches and wizards from all over the world gathered. They came in colourful robes, waving flags and chanting for their favourite teams. The diversity of the crowd was a testament to the universal love for Quidditch. It was a melting pot of cultures, all united by their passion for the sport. They were there to celebrate the wizarding world's most popular sport. The festivities included magical fireworks, enchanted food stalls, and impromptu performances by magical creatures. It was a carnival-like atmosphere, with everyone in high spirits, eagerly awaiting the start of the match.
The match itself was a spectacle to behold. The players flew at breakneck speeds, performing daring maneuvers that left the audience gasping in awe. The skill and athleticism on display were unparalleled, showcasing the very best of what Quidditch had to offer. The Irish chasers zipped across the field, scoring goal after goal against the Bulgarian team. Their teamwork and precision were impeccable, making it seem almost effortless as they outmaneuvered their opponents. Each goal was met with thunderous applause and cheers from the crowd. The crowd roared with every breathtaking move. The energy in the stadium was palpable, with fans on the edge of their seats, eyes glued to the action. It was a roller coaster of emotions, with every twist and turn of the game eliciting gasps and cheers.
Even Ron, usually a staunch supporter of the Bulgarian seeker Victor Crumb, was caught up in the excitement. He couldn't help but cheer for the Irish team as they dominated the field. It was a rare sight to see Ron so animated, his usual calm demeanour replaced by sheer exhilaration. For Harry, the thrill of the game momentarily overshadowed the growing sense of unease that had been plaguing him all summer. The worries and fears that had been gnawing at him seemed to fade away as he lost himself in the excitement of the match. It was a welcome distraction, a brief respite from the challenges that lay ahead. After the match, however, the celebratory mood was shattered. Chaos erupted in the campground near the stadium. A group of masked wizards, known as Death Eaters, began terrorizing the attendees.
Harry, Ron and Hermione found themselves separated from the Weasleys. We were forced to flee into the dark forest nearby.
The terrifying events of the night left Harry shaken. It was a stark reminder that the wizarding world was not always a safe haven.
The arrival of the Beauxbatons and Durmstrang delegations brought a wave of excitement to Hogwarts. The students and staff had been eagerly anticipating this moment for weeks, and now it was finally here. The air was filled with a sense of wonder and curiosity as everyone gathered to witness the grand entrances of their esteemed guests. The Beauxbatons students arrived in a magnificent powder blue carriage pulled by giant winged horses. The sight was nothing short of breathtaking. The horses, with their powerful wings and majestic presence, seemed to glide through the air effortlessly, drawing gasps of awe from the onlookers. The carriage itself was a marvel of magical engineering, adorned with intricate designs and shimmering in the sunlight. The Durmstrang students made a grand entrance by sailing up the lake in their enchanted ship. The ship, with its dark, imposing structure, cut through the water with an almost eerie grace. As it approached the shore, the students on board could be seen standing tall and proud, their expressions a mix of determination and excitement. The arrival of the Durmstrang ship added an air of mystery and intrigue to the event.
The Great Hall was transformed for the arrival of these guests. The usual grandeur of the hall was taken to new heights with elaborate decorations and magical enhancements. Banners representing each of the visiting schools hung from the ceiling, and the tables were set with the finest silverware and goblets. It was adorned with floating candles and enchanted decorations. The candles cast a warm, flickering light that danced across the walls, creating an atmosphere of enchantment and wonder. The enchanted decorations added a touch of magic to the already stunning hall, making it a truly unforgettable sight. The atmosphere was electric with anticipation. Students from all three schools mingled and chatted excitedly, their voices filling the hall with a buzz of energy. The excitement was palpable, and everyone was eager to see what the tournament would bring.
At the heart of the tournament was the Goblet of Fire. This ancient magical artifact was the key to selecting the champions who would represent their schools in the competition. The goblet stood on a pedestal in the center of the hall, its flames flickering with an otherworldly light. This ancient magical artifact was tasked with selecting the champions. Its flames burned with a magical intensity, and it was said that only the most worthy candidates would be chosen by the goblet. The process of selection was shrouded in mystery, adding to the allure and excitement of the tournament. Each champion would represent their school in 3 dangerous tasks. These tasks were designed to test their magical prowess, courage, and problem-solving skills. The champions would need to draw on all their abilities and training to succeed. The tasks were designed to test their magical prowess, courage, and problem-solving skills. Each task was more challenging than the last, pushing the champions to their limits and beyond. The competition was fierce, and only the best would emerge victorious. The champions would face challenges that would push them to their limits, both physically and mentally. They would need to navigate dangerous obstacles, solve complex puzzles, and demonstrate their magical abilities in ways they had never done before. The stakes were high, and the pressure was immense.
Students from each school aged 17 and above were eligible to put their names forward. The process of entering the tournament was simple yet nerve-wracking. Each student wrote their name on a piece of parchment and placed it into the Goblet of Fire, hoping to be chosen as their school's champion. The goblet would then select the most worthy candidate from each school to compete. The selection process was a moment of great anticipation and excitement. As the flames of the goblet turned different colors, it would eventually spit out the names of the chosen champions, marking the beginning of their journey in the tournament.
As the night of the selection approached, the excitement in the air was palpable. Students from all 3 schools gathered in the Great Hall, their eyes fixed on the Goblet of Fire. The anticipation was almost unbearable, and everyone was eager to see who would be chosen. Students whispered amongst themselves, speculating about who the goblet would choose. The air was thick with rumors and predictions, and everyone had their own ideas about who would be the most likely candidates. The tension was high and the excitement was contagious. Little did they know the Goblet of Fire held a surprise that would shock the entire wizarding world. The selection process was about to take an unexpected turn, and the events that would follow would change the course of the tournament forever. The stage was set for a test of courage and skill like no other, and the champions were about to embark on a journey that would challenge them in ways they could never have imagined. The night of the champion selection arrived, and the Great Hall was filled with anticipation. The air was electric with excitement and nervous energy. Students from Hogwarts, Beauxbatons and Durmstrang had gathered, their eyes fixed on the Goblet of Fire, which stood at the front of the hall, flickering with an otherworldly light. Students from all 3 schools watched with bated breath as the Goblet of Fire flickered and spat, finally ejecting pieces of parchment bearing the names of the champions. The tension was palpable, and whispers filled the room as everyone speculated who would be chosen to represent their schools in the prestigious and perilous Tri-Wizard tournament.
Victor Krum, the Bulgarian Quidditch prodigy, was chosen to represent Durmstrang. His selection was met with cheers and applause, as he was already a well-known figure in the wizarding world, famous for his incredible skills on the Quidditch pitch. I was chosen to represent Beauxbatons. My heart swelled with pride as I stepped forward, feeling the weight of my school's expectations on my shoulders. The Beauxbatons students erupted in applause, their faces beaming with pride and excitement.
Cedric Diggory, a popular and talented Hufflepuff student, was chosen to represent Hogwarts. Cedric's selection was met with enthusiastic cheers from his fellow Hogwarts students, who admired his bravery and skill. He was a well-liked student, known for his fairness and sportsmanship. Just when everyone thought the selection process was complete, the Goblet of Fire roared once more. The hall fell silent, and all eyes turned back to the goblet, which was now glowing with an intense, fiery light. A fourth piece of parchment shot out, fluttering down towards Dumbledore. The unexpected turn of events left everyone in the hall in a state of shock and confusion. Whispers and murmurs spread like wildfire as Dumbledore reached out to catch the parchment. Silence fell over the great hall as Dumbledore read the name on the parchment aloud. The tension was so thick it could be cut with a knife, and everyone held their breath, waiting to hear the name that would be announced.
Harry Potter, he announced, his voice echoing through the stunned silence. The name reverberated through the hall, and all eyes turned to Harry, who sat frozen in his seat, his face a mask of shock and disbelief. The hall erupted in chaos. Students began shouting and arguing, unable to comprehend how Harry's name had been entered into the Goblet of Fire. The noise was deafening, and the atmosphere was charged with confusion and anger. I was only 14 and not even eligible to enter my name. My friends gathered around me, their faces filled with concern and disbelief. We all knew that something was terribly wrong, but we had no idea how to fix it. I was as shocked as everyone else. I tried to explain to Dumbledore and the other professors that I hadn't put my name in the goblet, but their faces were filled with doubt and suspicion. It was clear that they were struggling to understand how this could have happened.
Accusations flew, whispers followed him through the halls. Everywhere he went, he could feel the eyes of his fellow students on him, their whispers and gossip trailing in his wake. It was a heavy burden to bear, and he felt isolated and alone. He was thrust into the center of a mystery he didn't understand. The questions swirled in his mind. Who had put his name in the goblet? Why had they done it? And what did it mean for him and his friends? Despite his protests, Harry was now the fourth champion, bound to compete in the dangerous Triwizard Tournament. He knew that he had no choice but to face the challenges ahead, and he steeled himself for the trials that awaited him. The path before him was fraught with danger, but he was determined to prove himself and uncover the truth behind the mysterious events that had led to his selection.